There are great ideas. There are good ideas. There are bad ideas. And trial and error, you're going to come up with something that's going to really work. And I kind of like this image, one of my favorite images. But too bad, you can't copyright protect AI work made by a robot. Federal Appeals Court, they ruled, I guess, the ruling on AI painting a recent entrance to paradise upheld an initial decision, Jesus, U.S. Copyright Office and a subsequent decision by a lower federal court judge in favor of the office. So computer scientist Stephen Thaler said his creativity machine created the painting on its own in 2012. Wow, this took 13 years to say no? It's a nice painting. Can I use it? We could all use this. It belongs to us now. It's ours. But what if he paints it on his own from a different angle? Then I guess it's his somehow. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's kind of tough, isn't it? But anyway, this is the appetizer news I wanted to tell you about. She looks nice. Um, so has allowed the registration of works made by human authors who use. So the copyright has allowed the registration of works made by human authors who use artificial intelligence. Okay, so let me correct myself. So if I made, well, it's Superman anyway, but let's say Superman's in the public domain with the old Superman shield. So yeah, but then there's Joey Diaz's likeness, isn't it? Well, let's say I used AI to create something, so then I get to copyright protect it. But if it made it on its own, then it is not within copyright protection. Okay. So just to clear this up, if a robot made the art on its own from 2012, it is not copyright protected. But if you or I programmed it to do so, then we can protect it. All right. So there you go. That's interesting. I guess we now own the copyright. The robot doesn't get to do shit. The robot gets no copyright rights. Too bad. But now let's get to Cassian Andor. And Andor says, you're delirious. You're in shock. You're in shock. Let's see. Can I get that? Let's get that so we can see. Andor creator refuses to make episode scripts because they could be used to train AI softwares. Why help the fucking robots? Okay. So let's see here. So Andor creator Tony Gilroy recently told Collider that he will not be making any of the scripts for the Star Wars series public out of fear they will be used to train artificial intelligence systems. Gilroy has been planning to release the scripts for the show's first season in book format that fans could purchase, similar to shows such as HBO. Okay, so you could read the show. You could read it. You like reading, don't you? However, the rise of AI effectively killed that plan. He'd been planning for to release this in a book format. Okay, so I wanted to do it. We put it together, says Tony Gilroy. It's really cool. I've seen it. I loved it. AI is the reason we're not. In the end, it would be 1,500 pages that came out directly off of this desk. I mean, terribly sadly, it's just too much of an X-ray and too easily absorbed. Why help the fucking robots any more than you can? So it was an ego thing. It was vanity that makes you want to do it. And the downside is real. So vanity loses. All right. So Andor is gearing up for its return. So am I reading this right? The writers on the show and myself, it's a pretty fancy bunch of writers, really, in a way. We only get together 5 or 6 days. So they're talking about the show here. And that's about it. What this is the first strip of Buck Rogers that I wrote. There's a couple more. These are the first. I'll show you the first 7 of these that I wrote myself without AI training or anything like that. Capital, come in, capital. I'm trying to see what this is. Pastucci to Buck, come in. Oh, this might be over like caption, like off screen. I'm trying to remember what the fuck I wrote. So this is Pastucci. Okay. Dr. Pastucci. Okay, here we go. So I'm forgetting all my characters. So this is very important because I'm writing all this stuff here. Now, I've used AI for art. I have basically a 10 finger or 8 fingers and 2 thumb rule, okay, on 2 hands, okay? If I can make 10 realistic looking faces and textures of people and places and things 10 pieces, like 8.5 by 11, to tell a story. I would just go with that, okay? I could just hand draw it, 10 pieces of art to tell one story. That's like maybe an hour or 2 hours long in length. If it's any more than 10 pieces, it's AI for me. Unless I'm using my animated style, which I would not dare use AI for, because the AI wouldn't even know. Now, I disagree with what Tony Gilroy is saying here because it doesn't take much for someone to take the episodes, uh, either like get software to read it, or you can record, you can visually and audibly, like you can get a tablet and record an episode of Andor and then feed it to a computer, yeah, and then have that computer read, discern the lines from hearing it, right? Like somebody could transcribe it. So it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter at all. You know what I mean? Like Wikipedia will have the summary of Andor for the first season. And then there are the lines, okay? The lines and what happens. You could transcribe a whole scene from Andor. I do believe Disney has some free like preview clips on YouTube. So you could do a little bit of that, right? So I don't understand. It's kind of dumb the way he's kind of thinking because AI is going to learn it anyway. And maybe he'll say it won't be because of me, but they're going to do it anyway. Okay. So, I mean, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. But I will never use AI to write my work. All this work that you see is me coming up with this stuff because I think that you should be able to be good at it. Okay. If you were doing it for chuckles, like see what a computer could think of, right? Like you versus the computer. Okay. You come up with a story of what you think something should be. Um, how would an apple and an orange, what would the battle between apples and oranges be like? And I could come up with a story that uh, apples have certain like chemicals within it, natural, that could be good or not to mankind versus oranges, or maybe the orange grove. Remember the orange grove that became Disneyland, right? Disneyland was a bunch of orange trees and Apple computers. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, right? And what would the computer say? What would the computer think of? Would it literally think of the fruit or would it think of something else? It's like make a battle with apples and oranges. Maybe I would put it in quotation marks too, just to make it a little easily understood. But other than challenging the computer, I don't see the point in letting AI do all your work. I think one guy who was on Clownfish TV, he said he would use AI for pictures because he can't draw, but he would write. Uh, because I guess it's harder and harder these days to find good artists to go with the writers or good writers to go with the artists, right? I guess you would have the AI Marvel method, which is where you draw a picture and then you could tell a story from that picture. I could see that. But the route I chose for me is I cannot draw realistically for more than 10 pieces for one story. That's just not going to happen. It's way too much work. It's asking a lot out of me. I would rather just tell a story with AI pictures. And it's something I'm not too invested in. With Buck Rogers, I am invested in. So I am creating it myself with my own style. I hope you're tuning into those Maestro art classes because I try to come up with some good topics. And I'm not on here as much, am I? I guess I'm waiting for that big thing to happen for me. I don't know. A lot is changing for me. I'm having problems with the water, plumbing issues, trying to renew my driver's license. But yeah, I don't want to show you everything. I'm showing you up to a certain point because all this has already been put up. So the first 21 parts are actually up on the YouTubes in one collection, but I will never write by computer. I'm going to let the computer set this one out for Buck Rogers. But more to come for Joey Diaz's Superman. And where do you use AI? Do you use AI yourself, or would you just set that out for you and just do it all by hand? Tell me in the comments below.